Hello everybody, so today I'm back here in Trailmakers, and as requested by a commenter, they wanted me to build a submarine with working torpedoes. So that's what we're going to be building today. Now keep in mind, I've never built a submarine before, so it might not look the best, but we're going to give it a shot. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alright you guys, before I start building the submarine, I want to show you the kind of logic that I made, and as well as the torpedo that I'm going to be using, because I made this beforehand, because I didn't want to spend like an hour designing it on video. So, I just built this test platform, and you can see the logic right here. What this does is if I go down, it will keep my depth wherever I want it to go. So it's going to stay there, and that way I don't have to like manually adjust it. It's always going to stay at this depth, and I can go deeper, or I can go back up. Sometimes it glitches at the surface, but that's fine because it's a submarine. And then for the torpedo, I'm just going to give a little demo of it working. I'm going to shoot this pillar, and this torpedo works at any depth. And that's a pretty sizable explosion with 4 pieces of TNT. And this specific missile is meant to stay at whatever depth I shoot it at. I have the thing tuned, so if I go down here and shoot it, it should stay relatively flat, not go up too much. Now, it is going up a little bit, but you can actually adjust it with the arrow keys. So, I can adjust the air tank on the missile, like this. So, if I want it to maybe arc upwards, like I want to shoot it from under the water and have it arc up to the surface, I can do that. And you can see it kind of going up. So yeah, the depth control is pretty cool. And likewise, you can make it arc down by setting the tank all the way down. Alright guys, as with a lot of my building videos, before I build them, I look up Lego versions of whatever I'm trying to build, just so I have an idea of the shape. And this is a pretty good tip for anything. See, like this right here, I think we should build something that looks pretty similar to this, because this will be pretty easy to make with the parts and Trailmakers. So I think we're going to go for this kind of design right here. So let's get on with it. Alright guys, so instead of that, I think I'm gonna make the submarine about this wide, because that will leave plenty of space for the air tanks and the logic, and will allow me to carry 2 missiles, because I'm just gonna put them on the side of the submarine, because unlike in real life, I can't really make an opening door that launches the missiles out, or sorry, the torpedoes, but I will do my best to make it look cool. So now that we have this, for the slant, we're gonna see what looks best. So yeah, we can do a shape like this, and then this ends up looking quite good in my opinion. So now I'm gonna replicate that on the other side, and then we have the shape of our hull. Alright, there we go. We got our basic shape down, and now I'm gonna work on the nose, because I feel like that's gonna be pretty hard to get right, and I'd rather get it out of the way with now. Alright guys, so I have this right now. I definitely might change it, but we're going to keep it for now and see how it looks when the whole thing's done. And if it looks out of place, I'm definitely willing to change it. So now let's expand the body. Alright, you guys. So now we're going to put a little back on it. And then we're going to try and situate how the fins are going to be placed. Alright, I think we're going to have to do that, just for the sake of making this thing look a little bit better. And we're going to put some wedges here to make this structure look a little bit better, because it doesn't look great. Alright guys, so I think for the propeller, we're going to try and use a bionic propeller design, because the normal propellers aren't that strong, and I would need a lot of them, and I just don't want to waste that space that could be spent on other things. So instead, we're going to do a bionic propeller, because we only need one, and it's going to be way, way faster anyways. So, I think it's just better idea overall. So, I've never actually built one of these. I should probably mention that. But I'm sure we can figure it out. Does that work? Oh my goodness. I just realized we don't have counter rotation. Oh no. I didn't even think about that at all. Oh my goodness, this is gonna work. Oh, this is gonna work beautifully. It's a fast propeller. So, you know, we're just gonna have to settle for a pretty ugly propeller. But let's move on to the next part, which is, of course, making the submarine actually work. Alright guys, so we just unfortunately had a crash, and some of my progress was lost, including the recording that showed me adding the mechanics to the submarine, but thankfully some of it got saved. Let me save it real quick so this doesn't happen again. Alright guys, so now I'm gonna add the little bit at the top of the submarine that kind of like pokes out of the water and where the crew would enter. So I'm thinking we could also squeeze some more buoyancy blocks in there too. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna cut to when I'm finished. Alright you guys, so I have this thing painted, and it ended up turning out pretty nice, and it works pretty well. Well, when you actually go under, that is, it works really well, and you can kind of see it in action right now. If we go down, now it does have a little bit of a tilt, so I think I'm going to try and fix that real quick, and then we'll move on to the next part where I add the missiles. Alright you guys, so I finished painting it, and I finished building our little torpedoes onto the side, as well as configuring the logic to work properly, since it was not working before. And then, I think this thing turned out looking pretty good, and I did some tests to make sure that everything worked properly, and I think we are ready to use it on our floating targets, and maybe even a battleship. So here we go. Alright everybody, so now we're in Treasure Island, and I have a small dinghy boat and a large warship to test the torpedoes on. So let's kind of make our way around here, and we're going to try and shoot the dinghy first. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and get somewhat close, and oops, we're going to try and align this and hope we can hit it. Here we go. There it goes. Boom! Perfect. Direct hit, and I think it completely destroyed the dinghy. Yeah, there's nothing left. Complete destruction. Alright guys, so now we're going to attempt to shoot the warship here. And we have one missile left, but we're going to just reload. So, alright you guys. So we're going to fully surface, so that way the missiles travel along the surface. And here we go. 1 and 2. Oh, there they go. Oh, wow. Oh, the other one missed. But just one hit completely blew a hole in the ship. Like, practically ate half of it and then flipped it upside down. So if we reload, if that second missile would have hit... Oops. We don't want to be here if it does hit. Let's get further away, and let's try doing a little trick shot. Let's go underwater and increase the ballast on the missiles. And we're going to try and hit the target from down here. So, like, the missiles are going to curve up to the surface and then hit him. So here we go. Now we are aligned with the target. And here we go. Missile 1 out. And wow, that was a crazy miss. Alright, so it looks like that's not happening. So we're just going to try and shoot a missile like normal. Is it going to hit? Oh, it hit. Wow. That destroyed that thing. And we can shoot another missile right here. And that will definitely hit it. And now the whole ship is destroyed. Nice. And now the submarine is working beautifully. Now it's maneuverable again since all the weight's gone. We can go up and we go down. And overall, I think this thing turned out looking pretty cool. And the missiles ended up working great. So I think this is going to be the end of the video. And if you guys enjoyed, Consider leaving a like and subscribing if you would like to, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.